Hey YouTube fans, this is Tyco Crash here doing another retro action figure review. Now before I proceed, I just need to say that these videos are intended for collectors over the age of 13. And I'm continuing my Crash Dummies reviews with Bull and his truck, or his flip truck. So, a product of the neon 90s, as you can see, it is very brightly neon yellow. And so is Bull, which is this figure here. Now unfortunately the Bull I have is incomplete. I don't have the full figure. He's supposed to have a kind of a lasso style thing, but I do have one of these accessories, which is this clip-on shield. And the way Bull was introduced in the action figure line is, unlike other Crash Dummies, he doesn't break apart. He was intended to be a kind of nemesis to these guys, which is the junk bots. There's Junkman and the junk bots, and I can't remember their individual names, except for this guy, which is Pistonhead, because, for obvious reasons. I can't remember the other two guys' names, but there was only 4 junk bots made. Technically, there was only 3 junk bots made, and the 4th being Junkman himself. He was a kind of unique character, but the junk bots were supposedly like generic army builder goons. And the way you used Bull was you happened to do it without dropping his shield. And basically, you would kind of move him, and he would do a kind of a slap attack and smack down the junk bots. He also came with kind of a lasso style weapon. So he is different to normal Crash Dummy construction in the sense that his parts don't come off. Even with the older ones like Spare Tire and Daryl, there you could pop out their actual joints. Bull himself doesn't. He still has the same articulation with the swivels on the bicep, elbow joints, 360 on the arms and forward and back on the legs, and a thigh swivel and a knee joint. His head is also on a swivel. He has this kind of silly looking face, similar to Chip and Dent, but you can see he's in a very bright neon color get-up, which is his Pro-Tech suit coloring. The junk bots, who I probably won't give them their own review because I don't have any of their actual playsets or the vehicles for them. They did come out with 2 vehicles for the junk bots, which was like a snow plow looking thing and a tricycle, or like a trike motorbike style thing. They also had the junk playset, which I don't have. But Junkman is, the idea behind him was, there was a small animated short that you could get exclusive with a repainted version of Junkman in purple, or you could get Ted, which is the Crash Dummy that has a kind of engine detail on his chest. And basically the story behind it is Junkman was a prototype Crash Dummy head, but when it was turned on, it went straight to evil. So basically Junkman and all his cronies are evil. These guys do have similar gimmick as Crash Dummies. They don't pop apart, but you can remove parts on them and swap them out, so you can kind of customize them. You can even take, like, for example, heads off 2 of these and make some custom junk bots from them. So there was customization on some of these. Same with that. You take all 3 heads and pretty much put them all onto that. So you did have customization to some extent on these guys. I do love the fact that you can see the engine parts that they're made out of. You can see bits of grills, gears, and like just parts, destroyed parts of Crash dummies as well. They're made out of, which is quite fun. But getting on to Bull's Jeep. Now, again, this was marketed at being a counter to the bad guys, and I'll show why in a minute. We can get them to stand. So basically the idea was you'd stand up a bunch of the bad guys, press this button, and it would knock them all over. So unlike the Crash cars, Bull's truck doesn't really have any removable parts apart from the roof, which is similar to the cars themselves, but it doesn't have pop-off wheels or any other pieces that pop off. The only other thing it does have, and it doesn't work on mine, and if I turn around here, underneath there's an on-off switch, but it doesn't seem to work on mine, is that when you roll it along, eventually you get to a point where this whole thing would pop up and flip the truck. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to work on mine, and I'm not sure why. I got it second hand, so I can't unfortunately I can't demonstrate how it works, but you can fit a bunch of Crash dummies in the back. You can actually fit about maybe 4 or 5 dummies in the back, depending on how you seat them. The one thing that's interesting about this truck as well is that it has this big spot here. Fitting your driver's seat. So you can actually fit a few dummies onto the back of Bull's truck. You can even fit like smaller stuff like the cat and dog on the back as well. And the idea was if they were driving around and they're in the back of the truck and it flips, they would all go flying out. Now if I just flip the truck over itself, the windscreen is also removable just like on the normal Crash dummies. So it has this big piece here. I'm not sure what it was intended for, because it doesn't seem to. I've been looking at the instructions online, and I've been looking at the pictures online for it, and it doesn't seem to show anything on that. But it looks too much like it's not a button, and it looks like something was supposed to sit in this, and you'd be able to use it. But I don't know if they ever released whatever was supposed to be intended to use for it. I know there's a cannon, but I don't think the cannon comes off the stand, so I don't think it was able to be placed in there. So unfortunately, unless someone in the comments can correct me, I don't think there was anything released for it that actually used that peg. But you can fit figures in it, and it's quite nice. You can even fit the modern figures in it enough, because Bill was such a big figure. Actually, if I just bring in Bull back in again and show him compared to the standard figures, he was actually quite a bigger, chunkier figure, so it's almost in par with the newer ones. He actually has that kind of built big chunk to him, but overall he's quite a cool figure. Unfortunately, as I said, he doesn't have he does have an action figure, action gimmick, but it's not the same as the other Crash dummies. So overall, it's quite a nice thing. You can actually use Bull's truck to hit the dummies as well. It wasn't specified that you have to use it with the actual junkmen, so you can use it for them as well. And it has a nice little tow hook thing on the front, which is quite cool. So we can get someone to fly apart. Nope. Maybe this guy might be able to get his action feature. Nope, unfortunately not. It's not strong enough to actually really press the buttons on him. It just knocks them over. So there you go, guys. Quick review of Bull's truck. Unfortunately, I don't have the box for this one either, but it would have been in the standard kind of red. Do I have any of the Crash dummy boxes nearby? Unfortunately, I don't. Would have been in the kind of similar 90s style Crash dummy box with the Incredible Crash dummy logo up on the top, and it would also have the name of the character. Now, unlike the other Crash dummy vehicles that came with exclusive figures, Bull was actually packaged separate to his truck, so you had to buy both separately. Whereas some of the cars had an exclusive driver came packaged with them, like the Crash dummy student dummy driver one had Axel, Again, later releases of some of the cars came with no drivers, or some re-releases of some of the older vehicles didn't come with any drivers, but some of the original ones did. But overall, it's a really cool truck, and it's really big and chunky compared to the rest of the vehicle line from this era, so it works quite well. If you're not a fan of the big neon colours, you could always probably take it apart and probably respray it and customize it into a kind of more normal looking truck colours, but if you're a fan of the line, you probably want to leave it as is. But there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick review for Bull's truck and Bull himself. As I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Cheers, guys.